Yo, G, what up, B? How you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, my man Surge?
What's up,
Back
brother?
in the building. Happy to be here, man.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Let's get this show started off right. We're gonna start off with the intro, and then we'll go ahead and get on with the festivities. So, Media Chop Up episode 22 starts now. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is Serge, aka Serge Gorilla. Unfortunately, Rick had to be somewhere today. But we are joined by my brother Gillette, Mr. G.
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, B? Are you enjoying this new chapter of Winter Soldier?
Yeah,
Falcon and
yeah,
Winter Soldier.
yeah. Definitely happy to be here. Happy to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, uh, last time I was here, I felt out the loop, man. You and the other guests, man. Y'all was just a wealth of knowledge.
There's a lot of stuff, bro, and even now it's easy to feel overwhelmed. Excuse me, I'm gonna put on my headphones too so I don't miss anything. But it can definitely fly right by you, man. There's so much information and so many interconnected stories that it's real easy to kind of miss on something and not necessarily be lost, but kind of like hesitate a little bit. You're like you're missing something, you know. There's a lot of storyline. Here we go. Yes, yes. Obviously, I am repping Falcon. I got my goggles over here. All right. I'm a fan of the show. I'm kind of jumping on it for the first time. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I'm enjoying the show, man. I mean, two episodes in. My mother's calling me. I'll speak to
I
her
was
later.
going to say, I was checking my phone. Is that my phone?
She's probably like, "Where is the show? What's happening? It's running late. I'm waiting." Right? Yes, my mom watches the show, which is pretty cool. Well, our show. I don't know if she watches Falcon and Winter Soldier, but nonetheless, she's a fan of us. So yeah, man. So this is a whole nother chapter, man, into Marvel and new characters and fortunately, they have the opportunity to kind of like give you backstory for a lot of these characters. Whereas when you watch Avengers or a lot of these personal stories, um, they may be rushing a lot of the storylines. So this is pretty cool. Although this is only 6 episodes, which doesn't seem like a lot, there's a lot to put in, and they're definitely dropping the jewels from the beginning. So yeah, man. Anything stick out so far?
I mean, from following you guys, I've totally changed how I watch movies. So I'm
Okay.
I'm extra focused. I'm trying to catch everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And real quick, just as not to mess with the integrity of the video, I'm definitely getting some feedback.
Say again. You want some feedback?
No, I'm hearing an echo when I
Oh, on your end or my end?
on my end.
Okay.
So only one thing's on, but hey, if you don't hear it, cool. Just wanted to let you know.
It's gonna drive you crazy. You want me to remove you and then put you back in? How about I remove you? You jump back in the room.
All
You
right,
want to do
sure,
it? So,
sure.
or do you have the link I sent you?
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I don't want to leave.
Okay.
Um,
All right.
once people start contributing to the chat, we can ask them if they hear the echo. Otherwise, I'm good.
Okay.
So
Cool. So yeah, man. I mean, listen, straight off the bat, whole lot of action, a lot of adrenaline pumping. Man, they just kind of just jump right into it, and it's pretty cool. Now, I don't know where should I start, man. Where should I start? Well,
well,
how about this? Well, get
before your questions, off the top question with the streaming on Disney, making it as a series. Do you think this formula is sustainable and affordable for them?
oh, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that they're spending, but there's also a lot of money that they would be losing turning this into a movie. So sustainable. I think the numbers are going up exponentially, and it's making it worth this whole pivot where they have so much material. Disney, man, Disney has all their Disney movies that go all the way back, right? And I can't say that I've been a fan with the way they handle things, where putting certain movies in the vault and releasing it every 20 years just so they can get more money out of you. That's like limited edition sneakers. I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
But listen, man, they have so much stuff to offer, so many Disney movies that with people so hesitant to go back to the theaters in America because in China, bro, fucking full. The place is packed, millions of dollars. It just I forgot what I saw the number somewhere of what these movies are making. Like Godzilla got released already over there and it's making a killing. It's a killing. Everyone and their mother's going. There's not one seat. People just like they just mask up, they put masking tape around their face and fucking watch the movie. They don't care. Over here, people are like, keep your distance.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. We don't want this to prolong any longer, man. We've been tortured enough as it is. So
Exactly.
I think this is a smart pivot. If you notice the whole what's it called movie with Scarlett Johansson, that movie keeps getting moved,
Yeah. Push
and
back
I
all the
and
time.
I think that was basically because they're trying to see if things go back to the movie theaters or not, and obviously they realize that we're not going back there anytime soon. So um, that's why they decided to commit to Disney, and I think they might be in some theaters too. I don't know. They have in the contract they have an option. They have an option to do both. Nonetheless, is it smart? Yeah, I think they can do it. They're gonna continue doing it because movies got to make money, and with these budgets for making these movies, they can't break even. They cannot. So you know.
I think in this time frame, due to the pandemic, um, it won't hurt them to put it both streaming and movie because I may watch the movie at home and say, "Yo, this would be excellent for a movie experience." So then,
Mhm.
you go to the movies anyway, and we're
Yeah,
so hungry to do outside activities
yeah,
that if the movie theaters open up and more and it's safe, they do
yeah,
social distancing. I can see people going to the movies anyway.
yeah. Look, Smitty said 22 million on China for Godzilla, and they
Wow.
don't play over there. And what's funny is that Rick told me this the other day. There's nobody movie that no one has ever heard of made a freaking $1 billion. I forgot the exact number. It's a huge astronomical amount of money, and I think a lot of it has to do with people who have been so cooped up that anything in the movie theater, they'll let's go. I just want to be stimulated. I just want to watch something. So that's where we are. That's basically where we are right now, and I understand it. Um, so them moving the Scarlett Johansson movie is just their way of just kind of waiting and then just trying to pick the best decision, and I don't blame them. Think about it this way: the Coming to America 2 movie, they were seeking bids for people who wanted to air it because they realized they couldn't air it in the movie theater, and they decided to decide with Amazon.
Right.
And I think they got
A little over 200 million.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 120, but okay, 200 million, and that makes me think of a while back when Wu Tang came up with an album, and they realized that it's not really too beneficial. You're not making most of your money going through the industries where they basically they make all the money off of you. You make your money off of touring. But when they sold a brand new album to a billionaire, and
Yes.
then basically
Yeah.
said, listen, like we can go the old route and not guarantee what we're gonna make on that and not make enough, or we can guarantee going through this medium. And they ended up biting them in the ass because the dude was an asshole. He like kept the freaking album for himself and whatever. But these are the times we are in, man. If you don't pivot, you can die. In terms of your business. So like if you think about everything is streaming right now. At one point, it was all DVD. Before it was DVD, it was cassette player. VHS and movie theaters, and now everything is streaming. Now everything's on your phone. I remember the Evo phone was like the first phone that allowed you to have Netflix on your phone. Do you remember
Okay.
that? There was a point where it was like a certain Evo that allowed you to, and the whole point is that before that, people didn't watch Netflix on their phones. They either had the DVD mailed to them, or they streamed at home. So they basically Netflix had to keep stepping up their game and basically come out, allow it to be programmed for your phone and for your tablet and be able to watch it anywhere. And that's where we are right now. Everything is streaming, 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 and it's so popular that it's also a double-edged sword where they're losing money because illegal streaming. The rule is in courts, if once you release something on the internet, it's kind of like your garbage. Inside your house, for somebody to go in your garbage, that's illegal. But guess what? Once you throw it out on your curb, anyone can use it. So
Right.
streaming is legal, but downloading is illegal. You
Hmm.
know, HCO Evo, HCC Evo 4G. Thank you, Smitty. But so yeah, so that's my point. Like there was a that it doesn't feel like that was that long ago where we didn't have everything at our fingertips. Now we do. Now we can freaking download an episode so you can watch it while you're on the train. You don't even need service. Like either my whole point is either you gotta pivot and you gotta move with the curve or you're gonna get left behind. You know,
Definitely.
and that's the nature of the beast. So let's get started with this show. There's a lot of information. Some of you guys may be confused, or some of you guys may need a little direction or inspiration. Why is my mother calling me? Uh, hey ma, I'm doing a show. Can't talk. Text me. Bye. Ah! So so we're gonna give you a little direction. We're gonna basically give you an idea. In the whole scheme of everything, of Marvel, of Endgame, and all the movies, I'm gonna give you an idea of where this show takes place. And it's important because sometimes you can get so overwhelmed you don't even give it a shot. But it's not that difficult. All these shows, WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, these are developmental shows that basically give you background on the characters and help you see where they get to their next level. All right. Wanda got to a next level. I'll get to that. All right. So I made a little something that gives you a little breakdown. We'll start with step one. Step one, Avengers Affinity War. Right. Infinity War. Thanos. Right. Thanos at that point snapped away everybody with the blip. People disappeared. Right. Then for two, in Avengers Endgame, which basically took place in October 2023, basically they defeated Thanos and were able to bring everyone back, right? And
Okay.
there was a big 5 year gap where people were disappeared for off the planet, heroes, regular civilians, all types of people, right? So at the end of Avengers Endgame, you have Captain America giving Falcon the shield, and he basically said, "Listen, you deserve this." And straight from the back, Falcon said, "This doesn't feel like it's mine. I don't feel." People have such a respect for Captain America.
Hmm.
Captain America, if you notice, during all the Avengers movies, is a man of standards, of morals, of he couldn't even lie to you. Even
Right.
even his jokes were like very like
PG
very
13. Yeah.
very PG, white, like like the sarcastic one was Robert Downey Jr. and so on and so on. But like he was that guy who just stood up on his morals, and he's always been a man of those standards. So whoever takes his whoever takes the shield realizes that these are huge shoes to fill, and there will never be another Cap the same way the original Captain America was.
Right.
But he basically, man, he went to war with Falcon on his side. Falcon never hesitated. A lot of things you'll see. Falcon is basically imitating the braveness and the boldness of Captain America, just jumping out of the plane like nothing. I have a picture of that. Let me see if I have a picture of that jumping out of the plane. I'll get to that later, right? He's a bad motherfucker, but so you get what I'm saying, right? So but
Definitely. Definitely is.
that was October 2023. WandaVision takes place November 2023, 21 days after Endgame. So
Okay.
basically what I'm saying with that one, 21 days after Endgame, Wanda is dealing with the death of
Vision.
Vision, right? So a lot of what she was feeling was extremely raw, man. It's brand new. So you got to understand where all this is happening in the bigger scheme of things, right? And basically, WandaVision showed you how She was distraught and she was dealing with everything, and she tried to create a universe, a world, right, where they can both still live together. They can both, she can keep them safe and so on and so on. And throughout that show, she basically learned how to develop her powers and who she really was, who she should be, who she was destined to be. Right. So that was WandaVision. That was 21 days after that. 4 months after WandaVision, on April 2024, is when Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So when that takes place, and what that tells you is things are still real, things are still raw. People are just coming back from the blip, from disappearing, and now they're back. And guess what?
Readjusted with the world.
Yeah, yeah. So people are like, what did I miss? Is this person that's still learning things? People are still adjusting, right? There was mass hysteria, and then now people have to try to get acclimated to a normal life again. So it's difficult for a lot of people, for not just Avengers, for regular regular civilians and so on, right? The world is trying to get back on pace. After that, we have in June 2024, 8 months after Endgame, we have Spider-Man Far From Home. So that's how everything kind of falls into place, right? They're not really far from each other. 21 days is WandaVision after Endgame, after everyone came back, and then 4 months after WandaVision is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where we are now. So that basically just tells us where we are. All right. So, storyline. The show deals with the ongoing internal battles of Sam Wilson as Falcon and James Bucky Barnes, who was the Winter Soldier. And you can watch Captain America Winter Soldier to get a little bit more background on that. Sam is fulfilling the role of the new Captain America passed down to him by Steve Rogers, as well as humanizing him by showing him struggling financially with his family. Right? So it's ironic that you have an Avenger who fought for the world, who help bring the world back from Thanos, right? Where we were all going to be decimated with one snap, and the man can't make ends meet financially. How does that happen? He's a
Right.
freaking hero, you know.
You would assume before this guy, Iron Man, died, he would have hooked up whoever was struggling.
Yeah, and a lot of talk was that, yeah, he was funded, he was taking care of him. Same thing with Black Panther. Panther was, he was rich as can be, so he can fund whatever. But these guys aren't here anymore. So, with the loss of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr., that money isn't free flowing anymore to take care of those who need, you know, those other heroes, right? So James Bucky Barnes, right? So that's the Winter Soldier, right? He battles with the PTSD and horrors of his past actions as the Winter Soldier, the guilt of those killings he conducted while under the control of Hydra. So he was a paid assassin. He had, and you know the difference, because like when he had long hair was when he was the Winter Soldier, and when he was under the control of Hydra. And in this show he has short hair, which shows that he's just trying to be a normal freaking person. He's trying to put that behind him, right?
Mhm.
So this show humanizes both heroes while developing their storylines. Heroes that fought to save the world, struggling with fulfilling a role passed down to them, unable to envision their true potential. Right? Obviously, and that's what the show is about. Is developing these characters, and the hesitation, because Steve Rogers gave Sam Falcon the shield. He goes, "You deserve this. You should be the next one to carry this on." And he was like, "I don't know about this." And there's a lot of Let me see if I have a picture of it. There's a lot of symbolism. So with a lot of the images that I seen on the show, I didn't upload it. There's a picture. Do I have it down here? No. There's a picture. If you notice, Sam is looking into a reflection of he gave the shield to the government, and they put it in an enclosure to put in a museum. He looks at that shield that's in the enclosure, and you can see his reflection. So that shot was done purposely, because basically it looks uh, unclear, and it symbolizes how he views himself. It starts off the show with him ironing his uniform before giving the shield to the government, so they can put it in a museum, and you can tell, like, his demeanor's down. Like, he's
Yeah.
not someone who's confident. He's not someone who's like, this is what I've done for you. This is what I can offer you. No, it's almost like he keeps having to prove himself over and over again So what happens? He gives the shield up to the government so they can put it. He said, "I don't deserve this. You know, this deserves to be showcased because I can never be that Captain America, right?" And the government pulls a oopty oopty, and then they choose someone else to
Mm.
be Captain America, and
A betrayal.
and he's like, "Whoa, this is this is." It takes him back, and he has to deal with that. He's upset about that, but he also doesn't really speak up about it. Right? He doesn't go back at them. So, with all that being said, is there anything you want to add to that?
um, you know, initially hearing about this series, I didn't even think it would be something that would I would enjoy. I
Mhm.
thought, is this something going to be forced? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, definitely.
realistically, Sam is human. He just has some add-ons with the wings and stuff, but he's
Yeah,
not fully protected like Iron Man. He
hmm
has like Iron Man tech on the outside.
yeah, he does.
So I, you
It's
know,
it's called
not,
Star Tech. Yeah,
not being well versed, I was like, they could just shoot him or something. It's over,
yeah.
But they cover it. They cover it very well when they show the wings, blocking bullets and things like that. So
It's very quick. It's very quick. The battle scenes, and it's actually pretty cool to see. And let me see if I have anything here.
definitely stepped them
Can't
up.
miss it. Yeah, definitely, definitely did. It's impressive. But it's fun to watch, man. It's very action packed, and I give him that. From jump. And I think that first sequence on that first episode where they show him automatically trying to save
That
a
cap,
soldier,
yeah,
the soldier that was taken captive. Uh, they basically did that so they could showcase what he can do. Number one, and just basically showcase that like he's talented. He has abilities, and 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 that's it. Just basically that's it. They show you what he can do. So if you don't watch any of the other shows, if it's anything that you're getting from this, you're basically seeing what his abilities are.
right.
And you need to know that for the show. And it's not like he's automatically standing side by side with the Winter Soldier. He's not. It's him. It's him and his Stark Tech, right? The Stark Tech is the technology and that he's wearing. So those wings and stuff like that was given to him by Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and it's very sophisticated. So it's actually pretty cool to see.
Definitely.
So you want to get started with the questions?
Let's go. Let's jump right
I,
in.
so I wrote some questions, and the questions are basically questions that you may want to know, or questions I feel like are important to the storyline. So maybe you should know these things. So like, let's start off with the first one, which is the most important, right? Right now, which this whole thing is really about. Who is the new Captain America? John Walker. Okay. So I wrote a little something right here. He received his credentials, received 3 medals of honor, ran missions in counterterrorism and hostage rescue, tested off the charts in all categories in a study conducted by MIT and the government. So the guy is an arrogant guy, and people are like, who the hell is this guy? It took everyone. It shocked everyone. The dude has a gun on his side to go. In addition to the shield, they betrayed freaking Sam, and they basically gave the shield to this new. I don't want to call him a nobody, but they didn't know who he was. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I worked with this guy before. I know that guy. No, this wasn't the scenario. So a lot of people feel betrayed. So, and man, I can see a lot of backlash from the fans. It's almost like when people were against Trump, that's not my president. That's not
Right.
my president. You see people, that's not my captain.
Yeah.
That's not my captain. So it's funny. People are loyal, and obviously, rightfully so. Like, that Captain America is the one that gets etched in our hearts. That we've watched so many movies. He's been in so many movies, and this guy is different. He doesn't have the. He tries to come off a little humble, but he really isn't. He has the expertise in the military, but at the same time, like, who really is this guy?
Yeah.
You know?
They did an excellent job of how they ended that first episode, and and he looked all goofy with the head mask on, and I saw the
Oh
memes.
yeah, I got you right here. I got you. Yeah.
Right? And
Let me see. Do I have it? Let me see right here. Right here. Boom. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
first, I'll get into that afterwards. But damn, I have a bunch of images that I didn't upload. But we'll get into that later. But do you know anything about this guy? Who plays John Walker? Do you
The
know who
actor?
the actor? Do you know
No,
him?
no, I don't know anything about him.
All right.
Never
Well,
seen
his
him
name
before.
his name is Wyatt Russell, and he's actually a part of a famous family. Both his parents are famous. Do you know who they are?
I'm thinking Kurt Russell now. Must be his dad.
Nah, I don't know about that one, man. No,
No?
nah, not Kurt Russell. Nah, it is. It is. It's Kurt
Yeah,
Russell. Let me.
he has that look. He looks like a little Tango Cassius. Just a little bit, you know, he got
Yeah,
that look. Soon
damn.
as
I got.
you said it, soon as you said it, I said you
It's a
said
mess.
Russell. I said, yeah, he does have a little Kurt Russell look to him.
I made something. Apparently, it didn't come up. But let me see if I get it real quick. I want to show it to you.
But while you find that, what I want to say is if you weren't invested into this show, the ending of the first episode made you be invested. Because you instantly felt like, hey, I'm not really into the Marvel thing, but how they gonna pick some random guy to be
Anger.
Captain
Yeah,
America?
yeah, yeah.
Like you couldn't wait for that second episode to come. I gotta wait all the way to Friday to see the next one. So as far as marketing wise, brilliant, brilliant idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely agreed. I have a picture right here. Let me just send it to myself. See. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm enjoying it so far, and what I'm realizing is that. Oh, first off, I wanted to clearly say this. With WandaVision, I got taken down a rabbit hole that I should not have been taken down. What that means is that I got all caught up in all these interviews and all these research of everyone trying to guesstimate where they were going with the show,
Yeah.
right? Oh, it's Mephisto. No, it's Nightmare. No, it's this. Now, granted, I have this whole. I found out after the fact that they recorded some episodes that we didn't see that had Mephisto,
Okay.
but they cut scenes because of what was going on with COVID and budget and time restraints. So I felt cheated. I definitely felt cheated. But
So now, so you shouldn't feel bad for going down the rabbit hole.
but my point is that everyone and their mother who has a show feels a need to come up with every possible scenario so they can say, "I knew it all along. I said it." Nah, man, that's annoying. That's like you take like I'm listening to freaking hours and minutes, losing minutes of my life of you guesstimating stuff. So
Yeah.
as soon as I started doing research on the first episode, they started it again. Damn it! They're like, you know what? I think this, and this bad guy, and it could be this way, and the car is gonna turn upside down. I'm not doing that. On this show, we're gonna talk about mostly what the show was about,
Right.
possibly where it could stream off a little bit too. But I'm
Right.
not going to be making freaking predictions. I'm not an expert. I'm not going to pretend I am. But the whole point is that, listen, I want to have the show so we can kind of just break down the show and not freaking guess shit. Because, bro, it messes with my emotions. All right, so
Yeah.
get back. I got the image. So Wyatt Russell is the son of Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope.
So that's not the first movie he's been in. He's been in a movie as a kid with them, but nonetheless, like, do you hate him the same? I when I found out he was the son of Kurt Russell, I'm like, I kind of like this guy, you
So
know?
just as an actor, he's holding his own because that has to be immense pressure. Uh, the expectations of having parents that are actors and actresses. But nah, I still hate him as Captain America
Well,
for the
look,
storyline.
and I'm glad you said that. I feel like people have to understand the difference, and
Right.
what the difference is that when you watch a movie and there's a bad guy, and you're like, yo, that's one sick motherfucker, or he's scary, or I didn't like him. He did his job.
Yeah.
That's what the script wrote.
Yeah.
You're not really deciding on his character unless you're judging him on his merits outside of the screen. You got to understand, like, this guy got. As a matter of fact, he auditioned to be the original Captain America. And
Wow.
so Wyatt Russell reveals that his first ever audition was for the role of Steve Rogers in Captain America: The First Avenger,
Wow.
before Chris Evans was even cast. So he was trying to get in this bad boy before,
Right.
you know. So you got to realize that this character, which is actually in the comics, a lot of things you're watching, you're you're so involved in the storyline that you feel like, oh, this is something they wrote in. A lot of this stuff is true to the comics. So this guy getting written in as the new Captain America, they didn't make that up. That's in the comics. It's in the comics, and he was not liked the same way. And as a matter of fact, he was a much more violent and fighting Captain America. Not to mention, he has a gun on top of that. It almost shows like a totally different mind space, you know.
I have a feeling it's going to build up to that.
Yeah, and he also had a he has a what do you want to call him? You want to call him a partner? Yeah, he has a partner, right?
Yeah.
So let's get to which leads us to our next question.
Right. 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 So
Who is Lamar Haskins?
correct. Correct. My man, Battlestar. So what do we got on him? We got he's a former. He's formerly in the U.S. Army, longtime partner of John Walker. Serves as the new Captain America's sidekick, known as Battlestar.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know much about him.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with the story, but I'm definitely interested to see how this character, grows on us.
which they showed us. We got an action scene in episode 2 where we see the new Captain America and Battlestar fighting,
Hmm.
actually alongside of Falcon and I don't want to call him the Winter Soldier and Bucky.
Right.
Bucky's his nickname. Yeah. So
They call him the Winter Soldier in the show. So,
but he's not. The Winter Soldier was like that alias he went with when he was an assassin, which he's dealing with. He's dealing with the guilt of all the people he's murdered, and he also has to legally go through certain. He has to see a therapist, and he has to go through these mandated hoops to basically be able to keep his freedom
right.
because he basically offset yeah, he was pardoned because of his positive acts, but he's done a lot of bad.
Hmm.
So yeah, so it's definitely interesting, So anything else you want to add on Battlestar? Do you like this character?
I'm sorry.
Do you like him? Do you like his
Uh,
character?
it's too soon. It's too
Okay.
soon because he's the partner of the new Captain America. If you don't like Captain America, it's hard to like him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But taking front seat on that whole asshole train is absolutely what's his new name? John Walker. John Walker he said some real asshole shit, and then this is him fighting with the shield and with the gun.
yeah.
But
And not for
that's
nothing. Since you revealed the Kurt Russell aspect, his swag is a little Kurt Russellish, like the asshole guy a little bit.
yes. Thank you, Smitty. Smitty said it. Bucky's new alias is White Wolf. I feel weird calling him White Wolf, but I guess we will call him White Wolf. White Wolf. It just sounds that's a funny nickname to me.
Where did he get that name from? Or when do they reveal him as White Wolf?
Endgame, I believe it was in Wakanda. They took him there because he had to get a new arm. He got the new arm with vibranium, made of vibranium, and then they gave him. It's almost like he was reborn, and they gave him the name. I think Black Panther gave him the name White Wolf.
Mm.
So Winter Soldier, the White Wolf. Okay. So I'll look into that. So let's move on. So the next question, which is pretty much what we all want to know, is who are they facing? Who are they going against? Who's the villains? And there's multiple villains, of course, but who's the main villain? Who are the Flag Smashers? Right? We see the symbol on the right with the world in the hand. So when the blip happened, right, and everybody was disappeared away, the people who weren't gone basically had to find a way, right?
Right.
And those are people who enjoyed the chaos because it allowed them to basically do whatever they wanted. And so this group came together and they basically said, we like this. We like all these walls taken down, all these flags. They call them flag smashers because all these countries are separated by flags. So you can't come into this jurisdiction. This is ours. Well, guess what? When everybody was gone, they were basically able to do whatever they wanted. So it was like some Robin Hood type things. And these guys are very strong, very strong. You can see that from the first episode when they robbed the bank. These guys are jumping out of buildings and kicking people through walls. Like it's pretty intense. So you got to ask yourself, yo, how do these guys get so strong? What's their backstory line? But I think there's like 5 of them or something like that. But I'm very curious, and they all wear masks, as you can see here, right? And they have that logo, and then they hide that logo on the walls so you can see them in certain places. You can see what's his name? Falcon has a buddy in the military who helps him with certain things, and yeah, his name is Joaquin Torres, and Joaquin Torres is in that opening scene, and he actually in the comics is actually supposed to take over Falcon when Falcon becomes Captain America, when he lives up to his what he's supposed to be, which is the Captain America, right? Joaquin Torres is actually supposed to take over it. So I don't know if they're going to go in that same direction, right? But this is what the comics basically say. So it causes me to really, 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 it causes me to really watch every person that comes on the screen. Who's this person? Who's this person? There's certain people who you look past and you don't really realize that these guys have storylines too. No? What do you think?
You're right. I did see something somewhere where they mentioned the military guy he was helping in the first episode with that awesome action scene. They were wondering if he was going to be that person,
Yeah,
take over the Falcon position. But I think like you, I don't get invested that far ahead. I just want to pay attention kind of to the storyline as it comes, and I like the surprises. For me, it's like discovering comic books and a dope TV show at the same time. I never was into the comic books growing up, so I don't get that same nostalgia feeling when they try to fit comic book themes into the storyline. It's dope to find out after the fact. For me, I'm enjoying the after the fact, like watch an episode and then go look at breakdowns, such as your show's breakdowns and other people's shows, and they break down the episode.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I watch the show in different phases, if that makes any sense. So again, I'm trying to not miss anything, right? But there's certain other characters, when you follow the storyline, right? I'm trying to understand the reasoning of where they're going. And when they introduce someone new, I kind of just see them as a new character to help the main character get where he has to go. And what I've been realizing is that they've been introducing all along, from Captain Marvel, from a bunch of the other movies, a lot of these kids or different characters are being used in this show. They're transitioning into this show and they're developing a new character that we didn't even know about. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So the next question is connected to the third question, right? And that question is, who's Carly Morgenthau?
Right.
You want to touch on this one?
Yeah. So from what I got is she's the leaders of the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Man, they're what makes them stand out is they have a level of extra strength, beyond normal human abilities.
Yeah.
But the end of that second episode, it showed like a softness, like they weren't out with bad intentions.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely looking forward to learning more of their mission, what their goal is.
Definitely. I'm curious too, and they don't look like they don't look that bad, but at the same time, they want what they want, right? In the second episode, they show they were doing like an X-ray of the truck, and they say, "Oh, I think they have a hostage." And when they opened it up, her head popped out, and she looked all innocent and everything,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, oh, who is she? You know, is she innocent? Is she? And then basically she started smirking, and then she kicked freaking Falcon out of there, like get out of here. And they started, and that's what started the fighting scene. And then that's when you realize that she's one of them, and she's the leader. And and they get a little bit into it, but these people are trying to stay under the radar, but they're just. I mean, I want to know more about them, you know. So we'll leave it there. In fact, let me download this thing real quick. I just sent to myself, but it's interesting to me, you know. I've never
Definitely.
heard. So at the end of the first one, and as well as the second one, right? They always drop in. There's an end sequence in the titles. I mean, end credits when they have all these different images. Those things aren't put there for no reason. It's storyline, and you know a lot of
Oh,
this.
I thought those images were the same each week. I don't even look at them. I haven't looked at
As soon as I saw them, I was like, man, this is over my head. I'll research it. I've done some research. Some of the other research blows my mind. So I'm not trying to hold on to all the information. I'll take it as it comes. But one of the main things that I've learned is there was this part where it said Power Broker is watching, right? And then it has that vial there. And what that vial looks like, it looks like super serum, right?
it.
So the serum, super serum we'll get into, right? Hold on a second. Yeah. I mean, there's not really much I can do. Um, so with the super serum, um, it was supposed to be done. It was attached to another movie, but nonetheless, let me get the name of this guy again. Power broker is someone who is like a scientist that basically performs these I don't know these trials on people and makes them superhuman. And these people on the flex measures are superhuman. So it's interesting, you know, like that's what I found out about that, right? These gems are being they're there in plain sight, but we're kind of like looking past them, right? So the next question would be, what is the super soldier serum and where is it coming from? So here are three examples of different super soldier serums. One's made by Hydra, one's made by Stark Industries, one is made by Bruce Banner, and basically I think one was responsible for the Hulk and so on and so on. But these serums are made to make people superhuman. So you see this example here of Captain America, and I'll use a little wimp, and then basically how it made him an amazing athlete and just super like it peaked all his speed, his reaction, his reflexes, and all his in these different things.
Made them taller even.
It made him super. Yeah. So um, whoever is responsible for this made these soldiers, these people super, and that's what we're dealing with. Villains that we don't know how yet, but they're strong, and we got to find out some more backstory. As well as we were going on further, we ended up Falcon and White Wolf went to go talk to someone. I had no idea who this person was, and obviously you know that White Wolf and Captain America are hundreds of years old. That's part of the storyline, right?
Right.
So there was one person named Isaiah that they wanted to speak to. So the next question is,
Yes.
who is Isaiah Bradley,
Yes.
right? So Isaiah Bradley, you want to get this one?
Yeah. So basically, Isaiah Bradley, which I was very excited to learn about, is known somewhat as the Black Captain America.
Mm,
All right. So he's one of 300 African American soldiers who were used as test subjects at a camp. What was it? Cathcart,
okay.
part of the Project Rebirth. I guess what is it? What were they trying to do? Recreate. They were pretty much trying to recreate the
The
Super
soldier serum,
Soldier Serum, right?
because the super soldier serum that was made for Captain America wasn't able to be duplicated. I forget the reason why, but you know, so they're basically trying to create the a duplicate serum
Right.
to create another kind of like Captain America. Yeah.
So what was sad about it was that they put him. He was like the only survivor,
Mm.
and
Yeah,
so he of what the 300.
yeah, it's crazy.
So he took on the mantle of Captain America, I guess, during a time, but it was kept secret.
Mm.
So, what did we learn? We learned he did a lot of traveling in Europe, fighting in the war.
But what they reveal in the show is that he was imprisoned and tested on for many, many years. And if there's one thing that he said and he was very bitter on was that he was basically created and then basically uh, captured and just used as a test dummy. So we're gonna get some more backstory. He showed some of his superhuman strength by throwing something freaking into the wall,
Mhm.
right? This old man. But I'm curious on how this lends itself to the story. I'm also impressed. I'm also impressed that Stan Lee and the rest of Marvel have all these different cool layers. So Captain America just isn't white. You have a black hero as well. In fact, at one point during the show, this kid sees Falcon in plain clothes. It's like, "Hey, the Black Falcon," and he was like, "Why I got to be the Black Falcon? Why I can't just be?
Right.
Why I just can't be Falcon?" And it was like, "Because you're the Black Falcon, right?" And then what was it that what was his react? What was his
He's
remark
like,
back?
what if I call you the Black Kid or something like that?
And he was like, "Why would you call me that?" but but my point is that like I love the
Tackling of racial issues.
yes, yes,
So
and Marvel's been known to do that. Stan Lee has been known to be fearless in basically tackling certain sensitive topics in the world and kind of just blending them into the storyline. You have people from all over the world, from Russia and all these different superheroes from everywhere. It's not just unique to America. So you have Wakanda and the Black Panther and how mighty and rich they are. All the riches in the world don't just come from Stark Industries; they
right.
come from Africa as well. Like I love the creativity of it, and the underlying message that's being relayed. I think it's pretty cool. I think we have a comment. I think it's going to show and expose the tainted perception of the idea of Captain America. Good point. Good point. People are forced to deal with the realization that old Cap is either somewhere, either he's not coming back or he's gone forever, and basically we have to move on and see, and believe in something else. Isaiah Bradley didn't fit their imagery of what they believed embodied America. That's deep. That's definitely deep, and they wanted to really study, and maybe it was studying him so they could come about with another super serum. Who knows? But I'm very curious where they go with this, man, for sure. So yeah, that's basically all our questions, man. The show was actually very interesting. Oh, I was talking about Sam Smith, how he was looking at the shield and basically trying to envision himself as like, yo, can I pull this off? Can I be Captain America? Listen, he's struggling to make things meet. He went for a loan and they denied him, and the dude was all geeked out, like, can I take a picture with you? Can I? But then at the same time, denied him for a loan. He has to make ends meet somehow. You know how he made ends meet?
Those were the contracts he was doing with the government.
Yeah, but besides that, you know what else he was doing?
No, what was he doing?
Uber Eats. He was doing Uber Eats. He has to make ends meet, man, and those tips don't really pay that much.
Yeah.
So I feel him, but ultimately he's trying to live up to being that new Falcon and Captain America, and that uniform is
Well,
insane.
it also touched, like you say, they always touch on real life issues that's going on in the world, and one of those things is how you can go and serve your country and put
Mhm.
your life on the line time and time again, but come home
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
struggling, and they can know who you are and they can know your credentials, and still you don't qualify for the basic needs uh, that others are granted.
hmm it's a shocking cold reality, you know. They also touched on wizards and sorcerers, and
Yeah,
Sam kind of joked around and was like, the only difference is the hat that they're wearing, you know. So I've been seeing these memes pop up all over the place like this. This is a sorcerer. This is a wizard. Learn the difference. One's wearing a hat. One's not. The more you know, the farther
yeah.
you. Yeah,
With the star,
yeah.
that's excellent. That's excellent.
You know, but like it's funny, but like a lot of people are like I said, they're against uh the new Captain America, and most of the diehard fans are like, nah, I'm good. That's not my guy. That's not my guy. But ultimately, you know, this is who they want to see. You know, and listen, this is a part of the story where it's evolving and characters are developing. Remember, this is not far from Endgame, so people are still trying to kind of like come to be, and you know these heroes they got to develop too. They got to develop and learn how to become more comfortable in their own skin. Wanda was that same example. Wanda was
Yeah,
a person who had powers, who knew how to manipulate her powers, but she didn't have full control of them. And it seemed like at the end of WandaVision, she was learning to master them by reading the Darkhold and really open up her book of spells of what she can do and what she was capable of. And this show is happening too. You have Falcon kind of realizing where he, you know, all this is going on for a reason, and it's going to push him towards getting there.
yeah.
Um,
I
with
was a
the,
little disappointed with the lack of camaraderie, like that arguing and bickering. You know,
between
before the blip, sure, but considering that they worked through the blip, they're aware of the blip, they're aware of the sacrifice from the blip.
mhm.
You would think that they would come together. That would be a means for them to come together more. So my 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 guess is you show this now to show how they come together later and create a great bond
Absolutely,
and teamwork.
absolutely. I'm curious how they're gonna kind of just transition Wanda into the whole multiverse thing, right? With Doctor Strange, because you know we kind of fell in love with her, like you know, watching her storyline, you know. So now, with not just her being the sole focus, now it's going to zoom out. Same thing is going to happen with these guys. They're going to join someone else's story. They're going to, but like it's kind of like a lot to take in because you got Isaiah, you got the new Captain America, you got Battlestar, you got all these people and possible even more superheroes that we're kind of just getting introduced to, and we kind of just got to kind of follow, you know. So it's interesting, man. I mean, I'm looking forward to see where they go with Bucky, you know, with his new arm and filling his, you know, he's dealing with his guilt and he's trying to transition into a new version of himself, and I enjoy watching him in his fighting sequences and so on and so on. So and the banter between the two of them is hilarious,
Definitely.
you
I'm
know.
I'm curious and patiently waiting for the next cameo. So, we've had War Machine already,
Yeah,
which I think is dope.
yep,
And what also we didn't touch on is that it feels like a movie. That's the
yeah,
thing. It doesn't feel like a series. It doesn't have a cheesiness to a series. It
yeah,
looks like you're watching an ongoing movie, a continuation of a movie. So that part I'm loving.
yeah.
And War Machine was the obvious, and the military dude Torres is the other one that pretty much adds two other superheroes to this one show that you're already seeing four. Falcon, Winter Soldier, the new Captain America, and his
Battlestar,
partner.
yeah, yeah,
So you
uh-huh.
got four off the rip, War Machine, and so that is something I'm excited about. I wonder who else will have guest appearances, or who someone new they may introduce into it.
Absolutely, man. There's so many different levels of this thing, and I ain't gonna lie. Like I've been forced to kind of go back and rewatch certain things. I need to rewatch Endgame because I feel like as much as I enjoyed that movie, it was a lot going on.
Yes.
So I'm going back watching a bunch of these movies and basically seeing what I missed. Smitty wrote, "We're going to be seeing Sharon Carter." Hold on, let me look this up.
Yeah, you gotta put me on. I don't. Man, you watching? You should have jumped in here, man. You should have came in here and shared
Ooh.
them gems.
I just typed in Sharon Carter. It looks like a badass girl. I know nothing about her appearing in comic books published by Marvel. Da da da.
Oh yeah, that was the one watching over him.
Oh, she's usually depicted as a secret agent, exfil agent of Shield on the Nick Fury, and the love interest of Captain America, Steve Rogers. In the original comic book uh, continuity, Sharon was the younger sister of Peggy Carter, the possible wartime love interest of Captain America. She was later retconned as Peggy's grandniece because of the unaging nature of the comic book characters. Emily Va. Yeah, interesting. Okay, that's cool. Another badass girl.
Yep.
I I didn't read the article, but I saw briefly that Scarlett Johansson wasn't going to sign on to any more of the movies. So yeah, Peggy's granddaughter. We saw her in Winter Soldier: Civil War. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, in MCU. Correct. So with us, is that true? I don't know. I don't know. Are they going to have to recast that? She got her own movie. I don't know where they're going with that. I don't know. And at the end of the day, we have to realize these are actors, and these actors spend a lot of they have to open up their schedule so much that they can't take on new projects when they're involved in these things. Especially with certain dates getting moved. So by committing to the MCU, to Marvel, to these movies, you may be losing out on business or other things
Already
that you want to
committed
do.
like 10 years tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. So like at some point you have to exactly. So at some point you have to realize like, hey, I want to do something else in my career. The fan is like, no, we love you, we can't lose you. But at the same time, like these are actors. These are actors that don't want to be typecasted in one role, and they want other roles, and they want to kind of work their way into other things. And I understand that.
Yeah. I,
So I mean,
I hear talks of people questioning if they should try to recast a new Iron Man.
how do you feel about that?
Um, I think give it some time. I think that's something you don't have to rush.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, you're gonna have to put in some another new smart person, that can like carry on the maybe not the sarcasm, the sarcastic character, but
Yeah.
the intelligence part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Uh,
mean, listen. At the same, people are going to be against it, but just like anything,
keep
they. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is a good example. Now, they recasted the Hulk multiple times, but then at the same time, like nobody was truly in love with the way they
right.
portrayed him. So by receiving this new show, we're all happy right now with Mike Ruffalo.
If
We're
you're
all happy.
unhappy with it, you will always take a recast. But
Hmm.
when you're in love with it, you don't want to replace like Scarlett Johansson. You don't want her replaced. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't really want to see another new Spider-Man. To be honest, I don't want to see
Mhm.
another new Spider-Man character.
They're developing these. Well, man, I mean, in the multiverse, they're gonna be bringing back all of them. So, like,
Right.
so listen, there's so much going on, man. You're gonna enjoy it. They'll probably do Ironheart. Smitty said. Smitty knows all these damn characters. My God, there's so many characters. My God, it's just like it's
Every
countless.
time he comments, I have to go Google now.
Smitty, why are you giving us more work?
Word, man.
So I mean, nonetheless, I'm enjoying where they're going with this. It's very, very entertaining. Um, I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm a little sad there's only 6 episodes, but hey, we appreciate everything you're offering us, Smitty. All the information. I appreciate all the interactions from everybody in the room, outside the room. Talking about movies, talking about a lot of people talking about John Walker and so on and so on. Um, he's definitely rubbing people the wrong way, and that's it was written that way. There's a point where he tells Sam, "Just stay out of my way. If you're not going to be," they try to get him to team up with them, and he's like, "No, I'm not teaming up with you. Get out of here, guy." You know, so you're not the real Captain America. But he's like, if you're not going to team up with me, stay out of my way. He's being a little very assholish. So that whole humble bit is all act. It's all arrogance, you know. But he did get defeated in that scene when they were going up against the Flag Smashers and they were fighting on top of those trucks. And then they ended up fighting for a while, and then he ended up getting kicked off the truck. But it was fun to watch.
Definitely.
It's fun to watch them show up on the helicopter and kind of just like, oh, here we are. Let's get to action. So we got to see some of what he could do, and let's see where else this goes. Oh,
Definitely.
and then more importantly, the episode ends on a cliffhanger connecting to Civil War, where they go to see a bad guy in a cell, and that person is. Would you like to tell us who that person is, Smitty? Being that you're contributing.
I don't
So
remember his name. I definitely know who he is.
Smitty said that opening scene was fire. It definitely was. Who is it that they went to go see in the jail cell at the end of the episode? Zemo. Correct. So Zemo is a bad guy that was from Civil War. Civil War. Of a Captain America Civil War. And
He had
they,
the book. He was the one with the book that had the commands to activate Winter Soldier.
mhm. So I was talking to Mitro about it. He was like, "Bro, go back and watch that movie. Go back and watch that movie and refresh yourself." So it's been so long since I watched that movie. I'm like, damn, I gotta kind of refresh on all that stuff. So definitely, it was Zemo. I'm curious what he offers them, why they're going to them, and it should be interesting. So if I could make a request, Marvel, listen to me, Marvel. Can you please release these episodes earlier in the week instead of Friday? Gives me more time to do research, please. Thank you. Special ops for the Sokovian army.
Sokovian Army. Yeah.
Sokovian, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can't wait till the next episode. These last two episodes were very action packed. A lot of funny banter between the two of them. Um, Character development, new characters introduced. Um, yeah, man, it's definitely going on. Um, is there anything else you want to add? Anything else that stuck out to you?
Um. Nah. The things that intrigued me, I think we touched on. Um. I'm looking forward to Falcon and White Wolf's relationship, like building that team bond.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking
yeah,
forward to that, and you can already see that the new Captain America is gonna go a little dark, so
yes,
that we'll get to see a different type of Captain America. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to those two storylines. Like you see Captain America and his partner, they're like in sync, and
yeah,
we want that for Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I'm just looking forward to seeing the transition for when Captain America goes dark, and then I'm curious if his partner will stay in sync with him,
hmm,
or will he see if any of it is wrong? So those are like my little guesses. I wonder, will he just remain a loyal partner, or will he question, some of his decisions?
definitely. I mean, let's see. I mean, we just gotta wait and see, man. I mean, I'm just curious. Are you a fan of them releasing one episode at a time, or just all together?
Um, both, both,
I would say by them releasing it once a week is by it keeps them relevant longer.
correct.
People can they're gonna talk. Oh, did you catch that last episode? It gives people more time to catch up,
Right.
episode by episode, more things to follow up on, more research, more hype. It builds the hype, but it sucks for the viewer because you gotta watch
Well,
one
it
episode at a time.
only sucks for the viewer that's locked in from the beginning, right? But by doing it week by week, what happens is a buzz grows.
Uh-huh.
So like when a lot of people heard about WandaVision, once they saw that the first episode was in black and white, I'm not watching that. And the way I know that is because I was one of them.
Yeah,
But then by episode 3 and 4, you're hearing, oh, the storyline's coming together. Fucking Marvel's great. How they put it together. They built an interest. So now, what's punishment to you, the loyal follower, is a prize to me, the newcomer that's finding it, because now there are episodes to binge to
hmm,
catch me up to speed, and then now I'm on the thirst train with you. What's next? What's next? So
definitely.
ideally, the weekly releases benefit the longevity of the show and the interest of the show. Um, to put it all out at once, it benefits us, but you know, we have an unsatiable appetite for new content. So I'm okay with them releasing it week by week. Because then what happens? Like you get a good show, you almost hate that you get to the last episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Hate it. Like, damn, like what
Agreed.
am I gonna watch
I feel
after
like
this episode?
this forces us to bring us together. Like we're talking, we're buzzing, we're theorizing, we're doing all these different things. We're doing research. It keeps you engaged longer. So I give him credit for that. Going into next week, just to let you guys know. Um, so next week is another episode of Winter Soldier. However, I think we're gonna do the Winter Soldier episodes every other week because there's other content that's out there. Not everybody's watching this. So next week we are going to talk about that. In fact, let me look it up real quick, so I can show you what we're looking for. Hold on. Hold on. Here. Oh well, I'll just type it in. There's two movies that are on the horizon right now, right? The first one being
Godzilla, obviously.
Godzilla, and the second one is Nobody. Have you heard of Nobody? Let me pull it up right here real quick.
Nobody.
I'll, I'll save it real quick. Save image. All right, bang. Yeah, I'll pull it up real quick. Bang, 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 bang. So yeah, I'm excited for the Godzilla versus King Kong. Nobody has the guy from Better Call Saul, and
Yeah. And
you
those
know,
I'll be thinking of him as the guy from those, but that's not him though. The insurance commercial. That's what I thought of when I
no,
saw it.
no, it's not him. But he basically plays someone who they push too far, and he just doesn't give a fuck anymore. And he just goes bananas crazy, and people were like, "Yo, is this guy by himself? Is he crazy?" So that's in the movie theaters. So I think next week we'll talk about those two movies, Godzilla versus Kong, and Nobody, and whatever else that may have came up maybe.
Okay.
So I guess
I'm
that'll
gonna
be
try
our.
to catch those two before.
You're gonna join us next week, correct?
Yes, if you have me, I'll be here.
Absolutely. We appreciate you joining in on the fun. But those are the two movies. I know it already was in the movie theaters in other regions that they're
Okay.
watching it. They're like watching it through the roof right now. So I think for us in America, it gets released on Wednesday. Godzilla versus Kong, and Nobody. I think it might be available already. Oh, hold on, I'm reading this. Bob Odenkirk. Lost me, Smitty. Sorry, I started talking about something else. So that's what we're gonna. That's the direction we're gonna go for next week. Um, I guess we could summarize. We can close it up right now. Uh, hey guys, I look forward to hearing your opinions on the episodes, on the characters. I really love. I love the guy who plays Falcon. I think he's awesome. I really am impressed with him. Sometimes I put on random movies and I put on that movie with Hugh Jackman with the robots fighting. Uh,
Steal
yeah,
something.
something Steel. And then as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh shit, he's in this too. I totally forgot about this. He's been in a lot of movies. He's also in the second season of it was on Netflix. Carbon, Altered Carbon, Altered Carbon. I saw the first season. The first season was great. I didn't see the second season.
I didn't
Unfortunately,
like the second season.
it didn't
Well,
get picked
that's Winter Falcon. Isn't he in it? I think the Falcon, the gentleman that plays the Falcon is
Yeah,
in.
that's what I'm saying. He's in it. Yeah, Real Steel. That's what
Yeah,
Smitty said. Real Steel is that's the movie I was watching, and I totally forgot he was in it. He's been in so many different things, but yeah, he's also in that in Altered Carbon for the second season. I
yeah.
didn't watch it yet, even though it didn't get picked up for the next season. I definitely want to watch it. But hey guys, just so you know, man, we appreciate you watching. We are live on Facebook inside of our room called Media Chop Up. We're also live on YouTube. You can watch it live, or you can kind of just type it in and watch the episode after it airs. The benefit of watching it live is so you can comment, you can interact with us. If you have questions, if you have certain things that you want to talk about, or any points to bring up, you can bring them up here. Also, I decided to give Twitch a shot. So we are live on Twitch. So this is our first episode on Twitch. I am still figuring this out. I see a lot of it's used for like gaming. So I just kind of just want to get out there, man, and get out there to different mediums of people to watch this, man. I mean, ultimately, a lot of research is going into this, and I'm very passionate about movies and TV shows, and I like to share my passion. I like to dropping different content in the rooms, and it's cool how people just interact with it about actors, about movies, my favorite movies, suggestions of mine. But the whole point is that we're all just building back and forth, and it's pretty cool. So if you have any feedback, Anthony Mackie, thank you, Smitty, is his name, the guy who plays Falcon. We definitely appreciate it. We love the interaction, and is there anything else you want to end off with, man?
Nah, man, just thank you for having me. I
Oh, yeah.
appreciate it. And just as a fan of Media Chop Up, I just want to say, hey, thanks for all the little gems you guys are posting up throughout the week. Um,
Mhm.
little Easter eggs about different movies,
A lot of
a lot
stuff,
of
yeah.
nostalgic movies. Taking me back to my childhood. I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm thoroughly enjoy not only these videos, but the little nuggets of information you're dropping throughout the week. I look forward to your posts. And hey, man, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege to be here.
I
Somebody
appreciate it,
gotta get
and
on with us, man. You got to get on. He's the guy. He has the info.
I appreciate it, man. And if there's one thing that I always love movies, and if there's one thing I have over 500 movies in my DVD collection, and then
Nice.
I just decided to stop collecting because now we're in a world of streaming, and for the sake of not getting kicked out of my house because I have more movies than space, I
Right.
decided to stop collecting. Now, there's certain movies that are great that I feel like you must collect, but nonetheless, one thing that I used to do in my free time with my buddy Kyle, we love talking about movies, just one on one, building on scripts and stuff like that. But I love the behind the scenes stuff, the making of it. I love the gems that they used to drop. Like for example, there was a deleted scene in The Goonies, one of my favorite movies of all time, that nobody knows about. And then when I was watching behind the scenes, there was actually a scene filmed underwater, under the when they got thrown into the water by the Fratellis at the end of the movie when they found
When he
one
made
eye
him walk the plank.
one eye Willie's actual treasure ship. They made him walk the plank and they went underwater. And don't get me wrong, it was deleted for a reason. It was cheesy as hell, but it was a nice gem. And basically, they got thrown underwater, and a freaking octopus entangled them and was just holding them. And they were like, they could have drowned. And Data, the guy the Chinese kid who does all the gadgets, he ends up using one of his gadgets
Wow.
and puts it in the mouth of the octopus, of this huge octopus. And I think he put like a tape recorder and it started playing music underwater, and the music bothered him. And then he released them, right? The,
Wow.
the whole point is that it didn't go to the movie. It didn't blend well, and they decided to cut it. But the fact that they filmed that, and they shared that. I thought it was so cool.
Dope.
And a lot of those tidbits we don't get to really experience because we watch the movie and then that's it. Most people don't even watch the end of the credits, you know. So unfortunately, Marvel forces you to watch the end of the credits because
Right.
you don't want to then post credit scene and then miss some new information. You
Right.
know, Marvel will do that to you, but which hasn't happened yet. Episode 1 and 2, there's been no post credit stuff. But
Oh, trust me, I watch and then I get tired of watching, so I start dragging the thing across the
uh,
tape. There's nothing.
well, they did that with WandaVision, bro. Like in the beginning, it was like first episode, second episode, third episode, fourth episode. I'm like, hello, can you give me something? But I was still watching to the end, and I was like, it's crazy how I'm a trained monkey. You know, I'm just waiting to the end. Like, okay, okay. And then finally they gave me something. I'm like, yes, okay. What do we do with this? You know.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Like I try to utilize this medium as a cool way to kind of share stuff, man, and do the research and share stuff. Like I didn't know until I read an article this week about Wyatt Russell and how he's actually related. He's the son of Kurt Russell, and you know, and I think that's cool. And honestly, that makes me not like. I mean, that makes me like him more than
Right.
most people are hating him because of the character. But it actually intrigued me a little bit. Like, oh,
I
I like
like
it.
him more.
I
The
like it. Yeah,
I like him more the actor, and I respect more the job he's doing at making me not like him.
that's absolutely. And I posted something recently in Media Chop Up um about Kurt Russell and name some of the movies that you enjoyed him in. And I put what's it called? Something from New York. Escape from New York.
Escape.
Classic movie. He played a character named Snake Plissken, which was eventually used in the game of Metal Gear Solid. You know, like he's been in so many.
Uh,
He's been in Big Trouble in Little China.
yeah, that's
You know,
one of
like
my
listen,
favorites.
I love Kurt Russell. I have a lot of respect for the guy. You know, he at the time in the '80s was one of the I think in my
Action
opinion
hero.
one of the top action dudes. But there was a lot at the time. If you think about it, you got Van Damme, you got Sylvester Stallone, you have Arnold, you have like there's so many freaking heavy hitters. You know, so he was one of them. You know, and I give him a lot of credit. Not to mention he's already in the Marvel universe, Kurt Russell.
Right.
So
This guy's father.
yeah. So then somebody wrote he I'll reference it next week. They said, "Oh, because since Kurt Russell is this guy's father, or somebody there's another character related to freaking the new Captain America." I forgot it was worded a certain way. It was funny.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, guys, we're gonna close off right here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you, G, for joining us. Until the
Yo,
next
yo.
episode, we'll see you then. And
Peace.
signing off, man, guys. Remember, do what you love and love what you do. Peace out, y'all.
Later, later.